Good afternoon and welcome to the vlog for today, Wednesday the 17th. Yes, 17th of December. Hope everybody is good. Before we get onto the hilarity of today's work, I just wanted to touch on VOSA. I've noticed last probably month, 6 weeks, there are a lot more posts on forums and Facebook by authorities and also courier drivers regarding vans that are being stopped on the road. And there's been quite a few checkpoints they've done at cash and carries where they're catching a lot of overweight vans. Also recently they did one of the newspaper depots. I can't remember where it was, in the early hours of the morning, and a lot of the vans leaving that newspaper wholesalers were overweight as well. But just generally there seems to be a lot more emphasis now on roadside checks on vans, and obviously if it's possible to do, they will check the weight that you're carrying and the overall laden weight of your van. Obviously a lot of document checking. There's been drivers that are found not to have a driving license at all in some cases, or the correct driving license. Insurance documents is another one that's proving to be a problem for some van drivers. I've mentioned before, back in my taxi driving days, when Uber, the famous wonderful Uber, arrived on the scene, there was a lot of issues with drivers getting the correct hire and reward insurance to drive a private hire minicab, and as soon as they was accepted onto the Uber platform, they cancelled it and reverted to normal third-party fire and theft, saving themselves somewhere in the region of £2,000, £3,000, maybe more £1,000 a year. Uber didn't check, because why would they? The paperwork's been uploaded onto their platform. They also have terms and conditions in the users, the customers' T's and C's that says Uber will never be held responsible for the driver or the vehicle that picks them up. That gets them out of the out of the loop. And of course, as far as the Mexican police are concerned, the vehicle will probably just show as insured, because it is insured. It's just not correctly insured. Now, I don't know whether that's the same in the courier business, but I suspect it is. I'm sure there's lots of drivers that will upload the correct insurance to the CX, or if they're on fleet apps, will upload the correct paperwork to the shipper or courier company that they're going to be working for, getting their screenshotted jobs. And of course, as soon as they've got accepted and they're off and running, they'll cancel it and save themselves some money. The other issue that's been coming a lot on spot checks is security, load security. I think we've probably all seen it. I know I certainly have. I've recalled before the 2 van job I had, where we both had a IBC weighing 1 ton. Mine was plunked on the back, and I'm busily there, and I actually put about 3 straps over it, I think. Matey boy next to me had his one on, and he shut the doors and went. Didn't strap his IBC down at all on the back of his van. It was about an hour to the delivery point when I got there. I said to the guy, did the other bloke get here all right? Because he must have left a good 10-15 minutes before me. And he said, no, you're the first one here with these. Still waiting the other driver. So I don't know whatever happened to him. He might have been laying in a ditch somewhere with the IBC on top of his head. I really don't know. But anyway, it seems that vans are being checked a lot more. So, you know, I'm sure 99% of you watch these videos are totally on ball with everything to do with the van, tyres and load security and paperwork and everything. But yeah, it seems to be more prevalent. They're looking out for vans. Right, on to today. And yeah, okay, this is going to be good. I got a job yesterday afternoon, a shipper that I've done a few jobs for. They ring me twice a month. I did a job from last week to Hereford. They also have one that goes from Braintree to Hemel Hempstead, and they give me a call, said, would you like to do that for us this morning? Yes, I would. It's always a large van job, but it's just one pallet. This case had some boxes on, and 63 miles, I get £80, so it works out about £1.25 a mile. It goes to Hemel Hempstead. It is out of my new area, but as I say, you can't say no to a shipper that rings you up and offers you a job. They always pay on time as well, and it's a very simple job. It's available from 8 o'clock in the morning. The company doesn't open till 8. That's strict. I've been there plenty of times, so I know that. But you are away. I'm away by 20 past 8, and that was the case today. I was in Hemel for about 9:45 and offloaded by 9:55 and away looking for another job. So I was thinking, I'm out of my little area. Do I hang around or do I head back towards sort of Essex that way? I decided I'm going to get a cup of coffee. Let's go and get a cup of coffee, and while I'm getting me a cup of coffee and drinking that, I can have a look, see if there's anything in Hemel Hempstead, because it is a decent area. Was a couple of jobs that were going right up to the north of England, but I don't really want to do those. And they're probably going to go cheap, because if you've got vans from the north of England that are delivering in London, they will quite gladly come and going past to Hemel Hempstead on the way out. So those jobs will probably go quite cheaply. Job did come up, and here we go. This was, I can honestly say, the worst job I have ever done on CX. Job number 984, and it's been a absolute disaster. I would rather have my testicles drilled than ever do this job again. So job came up at about 10:25, a long wheelbase job from Hemel Hempstead, 2 minutes from where I was, going to Feltham. Now, I said last week that I was going to avoid going to areas like Feltham and Heathrow Airport, but I thought, well, 10:20 in the morning, I'm 2 minutes away, it's going to be fairly straightforward. I'm going to should be empty by 11:30. If I can get £50 on top of me 80, that gives me a good chance to still get my money for the day. So I'll put a bit of £50 on. Probably should have been 60, probably should have been 70, but 50 it is. That's how it seems to be on second jobs of the day. It's only 22 miles, Hemel to Feltham. Got the job. Guy rang me about 5 minutes later, and went round to the collection point, and this is where the fun started. So on my way round, he rang me to tell me that there was two companies in the same building. They were part of the same parent company, and I needed, because one of the consignments was going to be one box. That's straightforward. The other, he wasn't sure how many boxes, but they're all going multiple different destinations around the world, air freight, and he wanted me to photograph each box with the label on it, so they could tie it all up with the paperwork, customs and the air freight paperwork. Okay, not sure, but okay, I've got to go with it now. So let's crack on. So arrive on site. I've got one reference number, and it became clear quite quickly that the one reference number I had related to the one box. The other box is, or whatever I needed a reference number. So phone the shipper, he will come back to me. So it now starts to become clear that the shipper I'm working for is probably working for a freight forwarder, who is probably then liaising with the collection point. Anyway, finally comes back with 7 different reference numbers. So I went in, presented the 7 different reference numbers. No idea. I was told with the 7 reference, it will be one pallet now and some boxes. So I go back in, and well, I guess put it this way, my mother, who's 92, would be quicker. It seemed none of the boxes had been picked from the warehouse. The guy who I spoke to had to go round and pick them. He was so slow, it was ridiculous. So put it in a nutshell, otherwise this will just go on all day. I finished up with 1 pallet and another 20 boxes, and I've got to photograph all the labels on the boxes and on the pallet and forward them over. Consequently, this just took forever. They were coming out in dribs and drabs, and because I didn't know exactly how many was coming, I wasn't sure how to store them on the van. Do I stack them? Do I? Oh God. The long and the short of it is 90 minutes before I left, an hour and a half. I was fuming already. I spoke to the shipper about waiting time, and he said, what do you want? And I said £30, and he said, okay, yeah, that's fair enough, we'll go with that. So we got the job up to 80. No problems getting around to Felton. He did message me as well, said you do need the delivery reference numbers going to the air freight company. I'll get them over to you. And one appeared on the WhatsApp, and when I got to the delivery point, I'm still waiting the second one. So I messaged him and said, I still need that second number. And then the palaver started again. He was wanting to, there's a box with a particular waybill number on, and I'm searching through the van and I couldn't find that, and we're going back and forth. It was just going on and on and on, and eventually we worked out that I didn't have the box, and it was still sitting at the warehouse. So okay, that's going to be the problem for someone else to worry about. And he then said I'll come back with the delivery reference number, which took another 10-15 minutes. So when we finally got that, I've gone in, and they need to know what the air freight company is. They've got the reference numbers, but what air freight company? So I go back to the van, ring my courier, and because he has to ring his shipper. Oh dearie me. So another 5-10 minutes wasted. Bottom line of it is another 90 minutes. Well, it's just over 90 minutes before I finally got these boxes off. I've asked again for some more money, and again, another error I've made. When I joined the CX, my terms and condition, for some reason I put down 1 hour waiting time free, and then £10 per 20 minutes. That will be changed to 30 minutes free, but there we go, it's on the terms and my terms and conditions. The shipper looked me up and come back and quoted that at me. So basically I was only going to get £30 for the time waiting for loading and unloading. My own fault, nobody else's, my fault, because that's my terms and conditions. It will be changed tonight. Yeah, so £80 I got for that. A job that has taken 4 hours, from 10:40 on arrival to 2:40 to get them offloaded. I am never going to Feltham again. That is 100%. I am never doing air freight again. I don't care. I will drive home empty. I am not going anywhere near the place. That was a disaster. It's now 3:10. You can see the traffic. I've just got onto the M25. It's going to be solid all the way round. I did have a quick look to see if there was any jobs. There was one from Slough going to Cambridge for a small van, 61 miles. I put £80 on it and nothing happened, so I really couldn't care less. I've completely and utterly lost interest today. Yeah, so some of that is my fault with the waiting time. I've probably done myself out £30. To be honest, I'm so pissed off with this job. I really couldn't care less. It's just been an absolute faff. It really has. The lack of information, lack of understanding what's going on, it just is a disaster. Really is. But there we go. These things do happen in transport, but lesson learned. I just shouldn't have bothered with the job in the first place. I should have just headed back to Essex and done what I wanted to do. And probably as well, looking at the CX today, it seems to be quite busy. It's jobs popping in and out all the time. So anyway, there we go. Lesson learned. Very disappointed, very pissed off, not happy, but such is life. But I'm going to share it with you because that is what I do. I'm going to be totally honest. Good days if they happen, bad days which they happen. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is what it is. If you want to be a CX driver, these things do happen. So anyway, I hope you've had a good day. Laughingly, even the dog's with me today, and he's had enough. Even he's pissed off because he's hardly done any driving today. He's just sitting slumped in his bed basket at the moment. Not had any lunch either. Didn't have any lunch with me today. Not had any food. So yeah, been a cracking day. So Greg's at St Albans is going to be a stop on the way home and see what they've got. Probably nothing. Yeah. Anyway, have a lovely day and take care. And we'll go again tomorrow. All the best now. Cheers, Paul.